Over the past year, the city of San Antonio has experienced quite a few catastrophic and traumatic events, no different from communities across the globe. One product of these events is the realization that the food system is vulnerable to acute shocks and chronic stressors, manifesting itself in food insecurity. Organizations like the San Antonio Food Bank and local food pantries are overwhelmed with the need for emergency food assistance. And even community staples like H-E-B experienced bare shelves at the height of the pandemic. Now, as the world comes to grips with these gaps related to food security and food justice, the United Nations has summoned a food system summit to encourage the local and global community to take action for the coming decades that will undeniably see population fluctuations during the climate crisis. In 2019, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change published a special report on food security, projecting less arable land, mass migration, and conflict around natural resources such as food and water. Therefore, we must all take action and be diligent in mitigating these challenges that are just beyond the horizon. Here in San Antonio, Texas, the local government and community partners are coming together to begin planning the dialogue towards collective action steps to ensure a safe and equitable future for all. Following the lead of the United Nations, San Antonio is hosting a Food System Summit dialogue, convening stakeholders from across the city in various sectors to discuss the challenges and opportunities here in the Alamo City, and how we can work together to cultivate a sustainable, resilient, and equitable food system. From the Essay Tomorrow Plan to the Climate Adaptation and Action Plan, some of the city's greatest minds have been diligently laying the framework for a path towards these goals. But there still is much work to be done. This dialogue is just the first step of many towards partnering to achieve our common goal of a healthy, food-secure city that produces and consumes food in a sustainable and just manner, promotes environmental stewardship, and instill these values in the next generation. Next, we will hear from some of the prominent organizations that make up the local food system in the Eastside of San Antonio.
Well, first of all, we really feel that gardens are really important. One of the things that we really advocate here is having garden to table. And so when we're working with our children, we want to teach them that what they plant actually comes to the table, and they use that to make whatever recipes. A lot of times we'll get picky eaters that come to Pre-K for SA, but they turn out not to be picky eaters because they try so many things, because they have their friends, they actually grow the plants, and they actually make the meals. So it really changes the way they think about food. When they come outside on the playground, they actually work the garden. So they're pulling weeds, they're watering, they're digging around. They're just the cutest thing because they really enjoy taking care and seeing how it grows. But they truly enjoy it. We have mud boots, so it doesn't matter if it's wet outside. They're able to take care of and be in the mud and take care of the plants. But they truly do enjoy the growing, and they have plants in their rooms. It's something that's really important, and they really enjoy it.
The Greenies is a 10-acre urban farm that the county is doing in partnership with the Bexar County Ag Extension Service in order to provide fresh fruits and vegetables for those who are in need in the community. There's going to be all kinds of classes, everything from falconry to financial literacy to how to make fresh vegetables to beer and wine. We are in a food desert on the east side. We're in an area that has been low income for many years, and people really haven't had a good selection in their grocery stores of fresh fruits and vegetables. And many of those vegetables that are available are very expensive, and people often pass them by. I think the benefit is that we are leading as the county to try and give awareness to the fact that not only are fresh fruits and vegetables tasting great, but they're going to have really great outcomes for your health as you use them over the long term. I believe that this long journey is really going to lead us to great buildings where we have actually the ability to have revenue generated for the county from things like events, as well as the produce that we may end up selling and reinvesting back into the farm and the neighborhoods.
Gaia Gardens is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're based here in the east side of San Antonio, Texas, and our mission is to educate communities about leading healthy lifestyles through gardening. So overall, to grow healthy communities through garden-based learning. So Gaia supports the local food system through education. We go out to schools, community centers, churches. You can find us there educating all ages. And that's really where we make the most impact. Working with our young people, working with all individuals that they have the best knowledge that they need to grow successful fruits, vegetables organically, so that they can have gardens, so that they can have that for their vegetable consumption as well. But those are opportunities for growth. And so Gardopia is a smaller nonprofit, but we are a very essential cog in the mechanism that is the food system. And so just by saying, hey, we have Gardopia that does its programming its best way, and then bringing in the food bank, being in the Office of Sustainability, Metro Health, the Greenies, all come to the table because food is a universal thing. And so when we think about the food system and how we can come to creating a great solution, that really is the obligation of all people as we think about a successful future for all.
So Local Sprout as a food hub tries to connect agriculture itself, both the agriculture that we cultivate here, the ranchers that are producing their meat off-site, and various farmers that we've reached out to kind of through our various connections, and connect them with processors and manufacturers to make value-added products that then can go out to consumers as fully fleshed out ingredients. Sustainable agriculture is a critical part of the food system of the future if we're going to have a reliable, healthy, sustainable one. But an important part of that agricultural system isn't just producing the raw ingredients, but also coming up with a plan to integrate those products into ingredients that they can use, whether those are fermented goods or fresh pressed juices or sausages or sourdoughs. The ingredients that you cultivate are critical, but you also have to cultivate a culinary infrastructure that can process and make those things into something valuable that consumers are ready to eat.
We are going to have a community garden here. So we'll have volunteer opportunities for the residents to tend to that garden, much like they do in Austin. We gained a lot of inspiration from the Community First Village in Austin. They have a wonderful program. As far as emergency food services, hopefully there won't be much of an emergency because there will be a constant supply of both hot meals at the Catholic Worker House as well as food pantry. So Catholic Worker House, they get sometimes more donations than they can handle. They have, they work with Augie's Barbecue, Whole Foods. I know I'm forgetting a bunch, but they have a wonderful donation supply for the hot meals, and so there's really no concern there. In terms of the residents purchasing their own meals, hopefully because of the rent cap at 30%, they're able to afford their own food. But we will have a free food pantry on site as well for some of those staples if they're needing a little bit of help.
Hi, I'm Councilwoman Rebecca Villagran, and I've been proudly serving District 3 for these past 8 years. I started the Viva San Antonio Healthy Corner Store Initiative pilot program with community partners to integrate healthy food options into neighborhood stores throughout San Antonio communities that are considered food deserts. 50% of the census tracts within District 3 are considered food insecure by the USDA. Our program was a new approach and has been transformative for District 3. Now, we are expanding this program to Districts 1, 2, 4, and 7. This access to healthy fruits and vegetables will now be in over 20 stores throughout San Antonio. I am so proud to see my vision come to fruition as it expands into all 10 City Council districts.